Hey everyone, welcome to 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'll be your English coach for the next 30 days.
And I'm Kathy. Have you ever felt like you know English, but when it's time to speak, your brain just freezes? You understand words, you know the grammar, but when you try to say something, you hesitate or struggle to find the right words?
That's because many learners are thinking too much before speaking. They try to make the sentence perfect in their mind. They worry about grammar, and they often translate word by word before speaking.
And that's exactly what we need to fix. In this 30-day challenge, we're going to train your brain to think in English, so speaking becomes automatic and natural.
And today, we're starting with the most important step. Stop translating in your head. If you've ever found yourself struggling to express yourself because you're translating word by word, this episode is for you.
All right, so let's dive into today's lesson. How to train your brain to think directly in English and stop the slow, frustrating translation process.
All right, let's get into today's lesson. If you want to speak English fluently, the first thing you need to do is stop translating in your head. But why is this so important?
Many English learners have this habit. Before they speak, they think of a sentence in their native language, then they try to translate it into English. But here's the problem. English doesn't always translate word for word.
Exactly. English has its own sentence structures, expressions, and way of organizing thoughts. When you translate, you often end up with unnatural or incorrect sentences, and this slows you down because your brain is doing extra work.
So instead of thinking in another language first, we need to train our brain to think directly in English. Let's go over some techniques to help you do this.
The first step to thinking in English is to start with simple words. Wherever you are, look around and name the objects in English. For example, if you're in your room, think bed, window, door, lamp, book.
Yes, no full sentences, just words. If you do this every day, your brain will naturally begin to associate objects with their English names without needing to translate.
Once you're comfortable naming objects, try adding short descriptions. Instead of just book, think, the book is on the table. Or instead of car, think, the car is red and fast.
The goal here is not to make long, complicated sentences, just a few words that describe the things around you. This will help you get used to forming thoughts in English quickly and naturally.
As you go through your day, think about what you're doing in English. For example, if you're making coffee, say in your mind, I am making coffee. If you're getting ready to leave, think, I am putting on my shoes.
By doing this, you are training your brain to process thoughts in English first, instead of translating. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
Here's a challenge for you. When someone asks you a question in English, don't stop and think in another language first. Just answer immediately.
For example, if someone asks, "How are you?" Don't think about translating your response. Just say, "I'm good," "I'm great," or "not bad."
Yes, quick responses will help you break the habit of translating and make your English sound more natural.
One of the best ways to think in English is to use English for everything you do in your mind. If you're making a to-do list, try thinking, I need to buy milk and eggs. If you're planning your day, think, at 10 a.m. I have a meeting.
This simple habit will help you make English your default thinking language over time.
So remember, stop translating, train your brain with these 5 techniques, and soon you'll start thinking and speaking in English more fluently. This core lesson helps learners break the translation habit and start thinking directly in English. The techniques are simple, practical, and easy to use in daily life.
Now that we've learned how to stop translating and start thinking in English, let's talk about something interesting: how native speakers think differently in English compared to learners.
Yes, a big part of fluency isn't just about knowing the words, but also understanding how English speakers organize their thoughts. English has its own way of structuring ideas, and it's often quite different from other languages.
In English, people usually speak in short, direct sentences. If you listen to a fluent speaker, they don't always make long, complicated statements. Instead, they break ideas into smaller pieces.
Let's take a simple example. Instead of saying, "If it is not too much trouble, would you be able to help me with this task?" Most native speakers would just say, can you help me with this? Or hey, I need help with this.
Exactly. Native speakers cut out unnecessary words to keep things simple and to the point. So when you think in English, try to keep it short and natural.
In English, people don't always respond with full sentences. Many times, they just give a quick, natural reply.
For example, if someone asks, "How was your day?" You don't have to say, "My day was good because I went to work and finished my project." A native speaker might just say, "Pretty good," or "Busy but good," or even "Not bad."
This is why it's important to train yourself to respond quickly without overthinking. The more you practice short, natural responses, the more fluent you'll sound.
Have you ever noticed that native speakers use words like "well," "like," "actually," and "I mean" when they talk? These are called filler words, and they help make your English sound more natural.
For example, instead of saying, "I don't know," a native speaker might say, "I'm not sure," or, "Well, I don't really know."
These words give you time to think and make your speech sound less robotic. But be careful, not too many.
So, to sound more fluent, remember these key points. Think in short, clear sentences. Respond quickly with natural phrases. Use filler words to make your speech sound smoother.
And don't worry about making mistakes. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
All right, now let's move on to today's challenge to help you start thinking in English. This section expands the cultural and natural speaking habits of native English speakers, helping learners understand how fluency is not just about vocabulary, but also about thinking in an English-friendly way. Does this match what you're looking for? Let me know if you'd like to add or change anything.
All right, now it's time for your Day 1 challenge. Today, we want you to start training your brain to think in English with a simple exercise.
For the next 1 hour, try to name everything around you in English. Look at objects and say their names in English in your mind. If you see a chair, think chair. If you see a book, think book. No translating, just direct thinking in English.
And if you want to go one step further, try to describe what's happening. For example, if you're drinking coffee, think, "I'm drinking coffee." If you're walking, think, "I'm walking to the store." Just keep it simple.
And we want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us. What is one thing you described in English today without translating? How did it feel? Was it easy or difficult?
And if you found this episode helpful, make sure to follow, subscribe, or share this podcast with a friend who wants to improve their English.
That's it for today. Join us tomorrow for Day 2, where we'll reveal the secret to learning English vocabulary faster. You don't want to miss it.
See you tomorrow. Keep practicing and remember, think in English. Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 2 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Yesterday, we talked about how to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. If you missed that episode, make sure to check it out, because today we're focusing on another major challenge for English learners, learning and remembering vocabulary.
Let's be honest. How many times have you studied a long list of words only to forget them a few days later? You work hard, you memorize them, but when you try to speak, those words just disappear.
Oh, I've been there. You feel confident when you're studying, but later, when you need to use the word in a real conversation, you freeze. It's frustrating.
That's because memorizing words in isolation doesn't work. Your brain doesn't remember random words well. It needs context, connections, and practice. So today, we're going to teach you 4 powerful techniques to help you remember new words faster and actually use them naturally in conversation.
These methods are used by fluent speakers and language experts, and once you start applying them, you'll never need boring word lists again.
All right, let's dive in.
Let's start with a simple question. How do you remember words better, one by one or in full phrases? The answer is simple. Learning words in context is much more effective than memorizing them alone.
Think about it. If you learn the word fast, that's useful. But if you learn the phrase as fast as possible, now you have something you can actually use in a conversation.
Exactly. Here's another example. Instead of just memorizing the word help, learn, "Can you help me with this?" Or "I need some help with my homework." Now, you have a real phrase that will come out naturally when you need it.
And don't just learn a word in one phrase. Learn multiple versions of it. For example, instead of just knowing excited, learn, I'm excited about the trip. She was excited to meet her new friends. The kids were really excited to go to the zoo. The more ways you see the word in action, the more naturally it will come to you.
So when you study vocabulary, don't write down just the word. Write down a full phrase or sentence. Instead of just important, write, it's important to be on time. That way, you'll remember it and use it naturally.
Now, let's talk about another powerful memory trick, connecting words to real experiences. If a word means something to you personally, your brain will hold on to it much longer.
Right. Let's do a quick test. Imagine you learn the word delicious. Instead of just thinking, delicious means good taste, think about your favorite food. Say out loud, pizza is delicious, or I had a delicious burger yesterday.
This method works with emotions too. If you learn the word nervous, don't just memorize it. Think about the last time you felt nervous, maybe before a test or an interview. Say, I was nervous before my job interview.
The more personal and emotional the connection, the easier it is to remember. That's why you probably never forget the word for your favorite food or hobby. It's part of your daily life.
Let's try an exercise. Think of 3 new words you've learned recently. Now, connect them to your personal experience by making one sentence for each. I guarantee you'll remember them better this way.
Here's something most learners don't realize. If you don't use a new word immediately, you'll forget it. It's like learning a new dance move but never practicing it.
Exactly. Imagine you learn the word amazing. If you don't use it right away, it'll disappear from your memory. But if you say it, write it, or even text it to a friend, it becomes part of your active vocabulary.
Let's do an instant practice. Right now, think of a new word you recently learned. Now say it in a sentence out loud. If you're listening in a quiet place, just whisper it.
Another great way to use new words is to write them in a daily journal. Every night, write one sentence using a new word you learned that day. If today's word is motivated, write, I feel motivated to study English every day.
And if you don't like writing, say it out loud. When you're walking around, practice describing things. The weather is beautiful today, or that coffee was strong. The more you use new words, the more natural they'll feel.
The final step to learning vocabulary faster is exposure, seeing and hearing words repeatedly in context. But here's the mistake many learners make. They just read or listen passively without paying attention.
That's right. Have you ever watched a movie in English but didn't actually learn any new words? That's because you were just enjoying the movie instead of focusing on the language.
So, instead of just watching, actively listen. When you hear a new word in a TV show, pause, repeat it, and try using it in a sentence. If you read a new word in a book, write it down in a notebook along with an example sentence.
And here's a fun challenge. Next time you're watching your favorite show, pick one new phrase from it and try to use it in conversation that day. For example, if you hear, that sounds great, try using it with a friend.
Or if you're reading and see he was exhausted after work, don't just understand it. Say it out loud and make your own sentence. I was exhausted after my workout today. This will help the word stick in your brain.
So remember, read and listen actively, not passively. The more you engage with new words, the faster they'll become part of your vocabulary.
All right, before we move on to today's challenge, let's talk about how vocabulary is actually used by native speakers in real life. Because let's be honest, not all words are created equal.
Exactly. Many English learners study fancy words, but when they speak, native speakers don't use those words in daily conversations.
Let's start with something important. Choosing the right vocabulary for the right situation. Some words look great in writing, but sound unnatural in speaking. Others are casual and perfect for conversations, but shouldn't be used in formal settings.
Let's go over some examples.
Okay, imagine you're at work and you want to tell your boss that you're very tired. Which one sounds better?
A. I'm exhausted. I barely slept last night. B. Dude, I'm dead tired. I stayed up all night watching movies.
If you're talking to your boss, option A is the right choice. It's still natural, but more professional. Option B is way too casual for work. It sounds like something you'd say to a friend.
Exactly. Here's another example. If you're writing an email at work and you want to ask for help, should you say, "Could you assist me with this?" "Hey, can you give me a hand?"
The first one is better for emails and professional settings, while the second one is perfect for casual conversations.
So when you learn new words, ask yourself, is this formal or informal? Where would I actually use it? This helps you sound more natural and confident in real conversations.
Another thing English learners often struggle with is sounding too robotic. Some phrases might be grammatically correct, but they're not what native speakers actually say.
Right! Let's play a quick game. I'll say a textbook sentence, and Peter will give me the real, natural version that native speakers use.
All right, let's do it.
First one, I did not understand what you said. Could you repeat that?
A native speaker would just say, "Sorry, what was that?" Or, "I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?"
Yes. Here's another one. This is very delicious.
We don't usually say that. We'd say, "This is amazing," or "This tastes great."
Exactly. One more. I am feeling very tired today.
A native speaker would say, "I'm exhausted," or "I'm so tired today."
So the lesson here is, simpler is often better. Don't try to sound perfect or overly formal. Just use the words and phrases that people actually say.
Have you ever noticed that native speakers don't always speak in perfect sentences? They use little words like like, well, I mean, to sound more natural.
Yes. If someone asks, "How was the movie?" instead of saying, "The movie was very interesting," a native speaker might say, "Oh, it was really good. I mean, the ending was kind of surprising."
These filler words don't change the meaning, but they make speech sound more relaxed and natural. Just don't overuse them.
So if you want to sound less robotic, try using a few filler words like, "well," when you're thinking. To check understanding. I mean, to explain further.
Start paying attention to how native speakers use these and try adding them to your own speech.
All right, now it's time for your Day 2 challenge. This is where we take everything we've learned today and put it into practice.
That's right. You don't just want to listen and forget. You want to use what you've learned so it sticks in your brain. So here's today's challenge for you.
Step 1. Pick 3 new words or phrases from today's episode. They could be words we discussed or words you heard and found interesting.
Step 2. Create a personal connection to each word. This could be a real memory or experience, e.g., "I was exhausted after my final exam." A sentence about your life, e.g., "I'm excited about my trip next week." A phrase that you can use in conversation, e.g., "That sounds great."
And step 3. Use those words in real life. Say them out loud, write them in a journal, or even better, leave a comment on this podcast using your new words.
We want you to comment with 3 new words or phrases you learned today, a sentence using each one way you'll use them in daily life.
And if you're serious about fluency, here's an advanced challenge. Use these words at least 3 times today. Maybe in a text message, a conversation, or even while talking to yourself. The more you use them, the stronger they become in your memory.
Today we learned some powerful vocabulary techniques that will help you learn words faster and remember them longer. Just to recap.
Learn phrases, not single words. Connect new words to real experiences. Use new words immediately. Say them, write them, or text them. Read and listen actively. Notice how words are used.
And of course, we talked about sounding more natural by using real spoken English, like collocations, filler words, and casual expressions.
Now, here's the exciting part. Tomorrow's episode, if you've ever struggled to understand fast English speakers, we've got something special for you.
That's right. Day 3 is all about improving your listening skills. We'll teach you why English speakers talk so fast, how to catch important words, and how to train your ears for real conversations.
You don't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe and follow the podcast so you get the next episode.
And remember, learning words is just the first step. Using them makes them yours. So start practicing today.
See you tomorrow, and until then, speak, practice, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and keep going strong. Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 3 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're talking about something that frustrates almost every English learner: understanding fast English speakers.
That's right. Let me ask you, have you ever watched a movie or listened to a conversation in English and thought, I know these words, but I just can't catch what they're saying?
Or maybe you're having a conversation and the other person speaks so quickly that it feels like one long sound with no breaks.
If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. In fact, this is one of the most common challenges for English learners.
Exactly. And let me tell you a secret. It's not because your English isn't good enough. It's because native speakers don't pronounce words the way they're written.
Right. When people speak naturally, they connect words together, shorten sounds, and use a rhythm that's totally different from textbook English.
And here's the problem. Most learners focus on reading and writing, but they don't train their ears to recognize real spoken English. So when they hear natural conversations, it just sounds way too fast.
But the good news is, you can train your ears to understand fast English. And today, we're going to teach you 4 powerful strategies that will help you catch words, recognize common speech patterns, and feel more confident when listening.
By the end of this episode, you'll understand why native speakers connect words together, how reductions and contractions change pronunciation, how to focus on keywords instead of trying to hear everything, a powerful method to train your ears for fast speech.
And trust me, once you start recognizing these patterns, English will feel slower and clearer.
So if you've ever struggled with fast English speakers, stay with us, because today's episode is going to change the way you listen.
Let's dive in. Here's the first thing you need to know. Native speakers don't speak word by word. They connect words together so that sentences sound smooth and natural.
Let's try an example. Imagine you see this sentence in a textbook. What do you want to do? But when a native speaker says it quickly, it sounds like, what do you want to do?
Yes, what do you becomes what do ya, and want to becomes wanna. This is why English sounds fast. It's not just speed, it's how words are connected.
Let's practice. Listen and repeat. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Great. Now, listen to these sentences and see if you can recognize the connected sounds. Did you eat? Did you eat? I don't know. I don't know. I am going to go. I'm gonna go.
These are called connected speech patterns. If you start recognizing them, English won't sound so fast anymore. It will just sound more natural.
Now, let's talk about another reason why English sounds fast. Reductions. This is when native speakers drop sounds or combine words.
Right. Here are some of the most common reductions in spoken English. Want to, wanna. I want to go home. Going to, gonna. I'm gonna call you later. Got to, or gotta. I gotta finish my work.
And there are even more. Listen to these. I don't know. I don't know. Let me, give me, gimme.
If you're expecting to hear, let me help you, but someone says, let me help ya, it might confuse you. But once you learn these reductions, you'll start recognizing them everywhere.
So, from now on, train your ears to hear these patterns. Watch movies, listen to native speakers, and try to identify these natural speech shortcuts.
Here's a trick. You don't need to understand every single word to understand the meaning. Native speakers naturally stress important words in a sentence.
Right? Listen to this sentence. I was thinking about calling you yesterday. Even if you miss some words, you'll understand the key idea. Thinking, calling, yesterday.
Now listen to this sentence. She's probably going to be late for the meeting. Even if you don't hear every word clearly, you can catch probably, late, meeting.
This is how your brain naturally understands your native language. If you apply this to English, you won't need to hear every word. You'll just focus on the important ones.
Now, let's talk about one of the best ways to train your ears to understand fast English: shadowing. This is a technique where you listen and repeat immediately after a native speaker.
Yes, this method works because it forces your brain to process English at natural speed. You're not just hearing the words, you're training yourself to recognize connected speech and reductions in real time.
So how do you do shadowing? Here's a simple step-by-step guide. Find a short audio clip of real spoken English. This could be from a TV show, a YouTube video, a podcast, or an interview. Listen to it once without subtitles. just to get the overall meaning. Play it again and repeat each sentence right after the speaker, trying to match their pronunciation, speed, and rhythm. Focus on the way words are connected. Don't try to say each word separately. Copy exactly how they say it.
Let's practice with some real examples. We'll say a sentence slowly first, then at natural speed, and then we'll break it down so you can shadow along with us.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Hey, what are you doing this weekend?
What are you becomes what are ya? Doing sounds more like doing.
Now try to shadow with us. Listen and repeat immediately after we say it.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Your turn. Repeat after us.
Can you help me with this?
Can you help me with this?
Can you becomes can ya? Help me flows together like hell me.
All right, now let's do it again. Listen and repeat immediately.
Can you help me with this?
Your turn. Repeat after us.
I didn't know that.
I don't know that.
Didn't is reduced to done. Know that sounds like know that.
All right, let's try shadowing again. Listen and repeat immediately.
I don't know that.
Your turn. Repeat after us. Great job. Now, let's do a final listening challenge. We'll say a sentence naturally, and you try to catch the connected speech.
What are you gonna do later?
What are you becomes what are ya? Going to becomes gonna.
Now you try, shadow the sentence as fast as you can.
Awesome. Keep practicing shadowing every day, and soon your ears will automatically recognize connected speech patterns.
And remember, the more you practice, the easier it gets.
All right, now it's time for your Day 3 challenge. We've covered a lot today, but now it's your turn to put it into practice.
Yes, listening is one thing, but training your ears takes practice. So here's what we want you to do today.
Step 1. Find a short audio clip of real spoken English. This could be from a TV show, a YouTube video, a podcast, or an interview. Try to pick something that's 1 to 2 minutes long so it's easy to practice with.
Step 2. Listen to it twice. The first time, just listen for meaning. The second time, focus on connected speech, reductions, and stressed words.
Step 3. Shadow the audio. Play it again and repeat right after the speaker. Try to match their pronunciation, speed, and rhythm. If it's too fast, slow it down and work your way up.
And for those of you who want an extra challenge, try recording yourself shadowing the audio, then compare it to the original. See how close you can get.
And we want to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us. What clip did you use for shadowing? What was the hardest part? Connected speech, reductions, or speed? What words or phrases did you notice changing in fast speech?
And if you're feeling confident, share your shadowing recording with a friend or language partner. Practicing out loud is the fastest way to improve.
Today, we learned how native speakers connect words, use reductions, and stress key words, and how you can train your ears to understand fast English more easily.
And the more you practice, the slower English will start to sound. Your brain will adapt, and soon, conversations won't feel impossible anymore.
And tomorrow's episode is an exciting one, because we're switching gears to how you can sound more natural when speaking.
That's right. If you've ever felt like your English sounds a little textbook or unnatural, tomorrow's episode will help you fix that. We'll teach you how to sound more fluent, confident, and relaxed when speaking.
So, don't miss Day 4, How to Sound More Natural in English. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss an episode.
And remember, understanding fast English is possible. Keep training your ears, and soon, English will feel easier and more natural.
See you tomorrow, and until then, listen, shadow, and keep practicing.
Bye for now, and happy learning!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 4 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. If you've ever felt like your English sounds a little too robotic or unnatural, today's episode is for you.
That's right. Have you ever noticed that even when you say the right words, your English still doesn't sound like a native speaker?
Maybe you feel like your pronunciation is correct, but your speech is too slow, too stiff, or just doesn't flow naturally.
If that sounds like you, don't worry. It's not your fault. Most English learners spend years focusing on grammar and vocabulary, but they never learn how to use rhythm, intonation, and natural speech patterns.
Exactly. Think about it. When native speakers talk, they don't just say words correctly. They use a special rhythm, tone, and flow that makes their speech sound relaxed and natural.
So, today, we're going to teach you 4 powerful techniques to help you sound more natural and confident when you speak English.
By the end of this episode, you'll know how to use English rhythm and intonation, why contractions and reductions make you sound more fluent, how to use filler words and pauses like a native speaker, why sentence stress changes the meaning of what you say.
And trust me, once you start using these techniques, your English will sound smoother and more confident.
All right, ready to take your speaking skills to the next level? Let's dive in.
Let's start with one of the biggest differences between learners and native speakers: rhythm and intonation.
Right. English has a special rhythm. It's not flat or monotone. It's a mix of stressed and unstressed syllables. Some words are said clearly and strongly, while others are softer and quicker.
To help you understand, let's compare English to music. Think of a song. Some beats are strong and some are light. English works the same way. You don't say every word with the same emphasis.
Let's try an example. Listen to this sentence. I really wanted to go, but I was too busy. If I say every word with equal stress, it sounds robotic. I really wanted to go, but I was too busy. Too flat, unnatural.
Now, listen to the natural rhythm. I really wanted to go, but I was too busy. Sounds natural. The important words, wanted and too busy, are stressed, while I really and to go are softer.
Now it's your turn. Let's practice these. I can't believe it. Stress on can't. That's a great idea. Stress on great.
Practicing rhythm will make your English sound more expressive, fluent, and confident.
Next, let's talk about contractions and reductions. Many learners pronounce every word separately, but native speakers shorten words naturally.
That's right. Instead of saying, I am going to call her, a native speaker would say, I'm gonna call her. More natural.
Here are a few more examples. I don't know. I don't know. Give me a sec. Give me a second. Let me think. Let me think. Let's do a fun quiz. I'll say a full sentence, and Peter will say the natural version. Try to repeat with him. I do not want to go there.
I don't want to go there.
What do you think about this?
What do you think about this? Great. If you start using these reductions, your English will sound smoother and more natural. Do you ever feel like your English sounds too stiff or too direct? That's because native speakers don't speak in perfect sentences.
That's right. In real life, people use filler words and pauses to sound more natural and buy time while they think.
Here are some common filler words native speakers use. Well, when thinking. You know, to check understanding. I mean, to explain further. Like, used in casual speech.
For example, instead of saying, I don't agree, too direct, a native speaker might say, well, I kind of see your point, but more natural, softer.
Now let's practice. I'll say a sentence without fillers, and Kathy will say a more natural version. I think this is wrong.
Well, I think this might not be right.
Try using filler words to sound more relaxed and natural in conversations.
Did you know that stressing different words can change the meaning of a sentence?
Let's try an example. Listen to this sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. Now let's stress different words. I didn't say she stole the money. Someone else said it. I didn't say she stole the money. I only hinted at it. I didn't say she stole the money. Someone else stole it.
Crazy, right? The sentence doesn't change, but the meaning does. This is why sentence stress is so important in English.
Let's practice one more. Listen to this sentence. She didn't call him. Now, let's stress different words. She didn't call him. Someone else called him. She didn't call him. She never called. She didn't call him. She texted him instead.
Wow! Now you see how stressing different words can change the meaning.
Practicing sentence stress will help you express yourself more clearly and sound more confident. Wow! We covered a lot of great strategies today to help you sound more natural when speaking English. Let's quickly review the key points.
Yes. If you want to speak English more fluently and confidently, remember these 4 powerful techniques.
Use the right rhythm and intonation. English has a natural flow, with some words stressed and others spoken quickly. Don't make every word equal. Focus on the rhythm of natural speech.
Use contractions and reductions. Native speakers don't say every word separately. Instead of going to, they say gonna. Instead of let me, they say lemme. Learning these will help you sound more fluent and relaxed.
Use filler words and pauses like a native speaker. Don't rush to say everything perfectly. Use words like well, you know, and I mean to make your speech sound more natural and smooth.
Master sentence stress to change meaning. In English, stressing different words can completely change the meaning of a sentence. Learn to emphasize the right words to sound more confident and expressive.
Now it's your turn. Here's your Day 4 challenge.
Step 1. Pick one of the techniques from today: rhythm, contractions, filler words, or sentence stress.
Step 2. Record yourself speaking in English using that technique. You can read a short paragraph, talk about your day, or repeat a sentence using natural rhythm, contractions, or stress.
Step 3. Listen to your recording and compare it to how a native speaker would say it. If possible, share it with a friend or language partner and ask for feedback.
And for those of you who love a challenge, try shadowing a short clip of a native speaker. Listen to their rhythm, contractions, and pauses, and then copy them exactly.
And we want to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us, which technique was the hardest for you? Rhythm, contractions, filler words, or stress? What sentence did you practice? How did it feel to speak more naturally?
All right, you've now got the tools to sound more natural and confident when speaking English. But what happens when you're in a conversation and suddenly you don't know what to say?
Oh, I think we've all been there. You start talking, but then awkward silence. You don't know how to keep the conversation going.
Well, don't worry, because tomorrow's episode is all about how to keep a conversation going smoothly. We'll show you techniques to avoid awkward silences, ask great follow-up questions, sound engaged and interesting in conversations.
You don't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe and follow so you get the next episode.
And remember, sounding natural takes practice, so start using these techniques today.
See you tomorrow, and until then, speak, practice, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and keep going strong. Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 5 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Have you ever been in an English conversation where suddenly there's an awkward silence? You don't know what to say next, so the conversation just stops?
Oh, that's the worst. You start a conversation, but after a few sentences, you feel stuck. You don't know how to continue the conversation, ask a good follow-up question, or react naturally.
And let's be honest, awkward silences make you feel uncomfortable. You start thinking, am I boring? Is my English bad? What should I say next? But don't worry, we've all been there.
And the good news is, keeping a conversation going is a skill, and you can learn it.
That's right. Today we're going to teach you 4 powerful techniques that will help you keep conversations flowing naturally and never run out of things to say in English.
By the end of this episode, you'll learn how to ask follow-up questions that make people talk more, how to use reactions and comments to keep conversations natural, how to use active listening to make conversations feel effortless, how to smoothly change topics when you don't know what to say next.
So, if you've ever felt nervous about keeping a conversation going in English, stay with us, because today's episode will change the way you communicate.
Let's start with the most important skill for keeping a conversation going, asking follow-up questions. If you don't ask questions, a conversation will die quickly. Think of it like playing ping pong. If you don't hit the ball back, the game is over.
Exactly. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is only answering questions without adding anything. Let's see a bad example.
What do you do for work? I'm a teacher. End of conversation.
Now let's try the right way, by adding information and asking a question back.
What do you do for work? I'm a teacher. I teach high school math. It's challenging but fun. What about you?
See the difference? Now the conversation keeps moving. Instead of just stopping, B shared some extra details and asked a question back.
Let's practice. I'll say a question, and I want you to answer with details and ask a follow-up question. Ready?
What do you like to do on weekends? Your answer should include extra details and a follow-up question like, I love hiking. Last weekend I went to the mountains. What about you? What do you like to do?
Great. The key is, never give just a short answer. Always add a little detail and ask something back. The second skill is reacting naturally. When someone shares something, don't just stay silent.
Yes, imagine this. I just got back from a trip to Japan. Oh, awkward silence. That's not how real conversations work.
But let's fix it. Here's how you react naturally. I just got back from a trip to Japan. Wow, that's awesome. How was it? What did you do there?
See, instead of just saying, oh, B reacted with enthusiasm and asked more questions.
Here are some natural ways to react in English. That's amazing. Oh, wow, really? No way, tell me more. I'd love to do that someday.
Let's practice. I'll say a sentence, and I want you to react with enthusiasm. Ready?
I just got a promotion at work. Your reaction could be, that's awesome. Congratulations. What's your new role?
Nice. Remember, small reactions make conversations feel more natural and fun.
The third skill is active listening. This means paying attention and responding to what the other person says, instead of just waiting for your turn to speak.
Here's an example of bad listening. I had a really tough day at work. Oh, I love pizza. Wait, what? That's totally unrelated.
But here's good listening. I had a really tough day at work. Oh no, what happened? Was it super busy today?
See? Instead of ignoring the topic, B responded in a way that keeps the conversation moving.
Let's practice. I'll say a sentence, and you try to respond with active listening.
I just moved to a new city. Your response could be, oh, that's exciting. How do you like it so far?
Nice. If you start practicing active listening, conversations will feel much more natural. Sometimes a conversation slows down, and you need to change the topic. But how do you do it without making it feel awkward?
Here's a bad example of changing the topic. So I went to the beach last weekend. Oh, I like hamburgers. What? That's totally random.
But here's a smooth transition. So, I went to the beach last weekend. That sounds fun. Speaking of the weekend, do you have any plans for this one?
See? The topic changed naturally instead of feeling random.
Here are some phrases to help you change topics smoothly. Speaking of that reminds me. By the way, since we're talking about travel, have you ever been to Spain?
Let's practice. Listen and try to change the topic smoothly. I just bought a new car. Your response could be, that's cool. Speaking of cars, have you ever been on a road trip?
Awesome. Smooth topic changes make conversations feel natural. Wow. We covered some really useful conversation techniques today to help you keep any conversation flowing smoothly. Let's quickly review what we learned.
Yes. If you've ever struggled with awkward silences, these 4 techniques will help you stay confident, engaged, and natural in English conversations.
Ask great follow-up questions. Instead of just answering a question, add a little extra information and ask something back. This keeps the conversation going, just like a game of ping pong.
React naturally to show interest instead of just saying oh or okay. Use natural responses like, that's awesome. Wow, really? I'd love to do that someday. This makes your conversation more engaging and fun.
Use active listening to keep the conversation flowing. When someone shares something, respond to what they said. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Show them you're listening by reacting or asking about their experience.
Change the topic smoothly. If the conversation slows down, use phrases like, speaking of that reminds me. By the way, this helps transition naturally to a new subject.
If you practice these 4 techniques, I promise, your conversations will feel easier, more natural, and a lot more fun. Now, it's time for your Day 5 challenge.
Step 1, find someone to have a short conversation with today. It could be a friend, a language partner, or even just yourself in the mirror.
Step 2, use at least 1 follow-up question, 1 reaction, and 1 smooth topic change. Just 1 of each. You don't have to do everything at once.
And step 3, reflect on your conversation. Ask yourself, did I keep the conversation going? What technique worked best for me? What can I improve next time?
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us, what technique did you try today? Did it help make the conversation smoother? What's the hardest part of keeping a conversation going for you?
All right, You're now one step closer to mastering English conversations. But here's the next challenge. What if you're in a situation where you need to make small talk?
Oh, that's a big one. Small talk is so important in English-speaking cultures. Whether you're at work, at a party, or meeting someone for the first time, you need to know how to start a friendly, casual conversation.
That's why tomorrow's episode is all about small talk. We'll teach you how to start a conversation with anyone, the best topics to talk about, and what to avoid, how to sound friendly and confident, even with strangers.
You don't want to miss Day 6, Mastering Small Talk in English. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss an episode.
And remember, good conversations don't just happen. They're built with the right techniques. So, start practicing today.
See you tomorrow. And until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and happy chatting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 6 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're talking about something that's essential for social situations, work, and even making new friends. Small talk.
That's right. Have you ever been in a situation where you needed to start a conversation but you didn't know what to say? Maybe you were at a party, in an elevator, or meeting someone new at work and you just stood there feeling awkward?
Or maybe you've been in a conversation where the other person started talking about the weather, sports, or their weekend, and you didn't know how to respond naturally?
Exactly. In English-speaking cultures, small talk is really important. It's a way to show friendliness, build relationships, and make conversations feel natural.
But here's the thing. Many English learners avoid small talk because they don't know what to say, they worry about picking the wrong topic, or they think small talk is pointless. But actually, small talk is the key to starting deeper conversations.
So today, we're going to teach you how to start a conversation with anyone, the best small talk topics to use, what topics to avoid, how to sound friendly and confident, even with strangers.
And trust me, once you master small talk, you'll feel so much more confident in everyday conversations.
All right, ready to make small talk easy and natural? Let's dive in.
Let's start with the most important part, how to start a conversation. Many people feel nervous about approaching someone new, but the truth is, starting a conversation is much easier than you think.
A great conversation opener is simple, friendly, and easy to respond to. Let's go over some natural ways to start a conversation in different situations.
Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time at a networking event. What can you say?
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Kathy. How's your day going? Hi, I'm Kathy. So, what brings you to this event? Hey, you know John too? How do you guys know each other?
Now, what if you're at a party at Sarah's house?
This place is great. Have you been here before? So, how do you know Sarah? I love your jacket. Where did you get it?
And what if you're in a casual public place, like a coffee shop or waiting in line?
Wow, this place is always busy. Do you come here often? That coffee smells amazing. What did you order? I love your backpack. It looks really cool. Where did you get it?
All of these openers are easy, friendly, and natural. The goal is to make the other person feel comfortable responding.
Let's practice. Listen to this sentence and repeat after me. Hey, how's your day going?
Great. If you can confidently say these openers, starting conversations will feel so much easier.
Now that you know how to start a conversation, let's talk about what to talk about. Some topics are great for small talk because they're light, easy, and universal.
That's right. Here are some of the best small talk topics that work in almost any situation.
The weather. It's such a nice day today. Wow, it's really cold today. Do you like winter?
Hobbies and interests. What do you like to do for fun? Have you been into any new hobbies lately?
Current events, non-political. Did you hear about the new Marvel movie? It's getting amazing reviews. I saw that Taylor Swift just announced a new tour. Are you a fan?
Travel. Have you been on any trips recently? If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Food and drinks. Do you know any good restaurants around here? What's your favorite type of food?
Now, let's practice with a real example. Listen to this small talk and think about how the conversation flows.
Hey, nice weather today, right? Yeah, finally. I love sunny days. Do you like summer? Yeah, but I also love winter sports. Have you ever tried skiing?
See? One simple comment about the weather led to a fun conversation about hobbies. Small talk helps you connect topics naturally.
Now, let's talk about what not to talk about. Some topics are too personal or controversial for small talk.
Yes, here are topics to avoid in small talk. Politics, who did you vote for? Money, how much do you make? Religion, what's your religious belief? Personal problems, you look tired, are you okay?
Instead, stick to positive, light topics so the conversation stays comfortable and enjoyable.
Even if you have great small talk topics, you need to deliver them with confidence. Here are some simple tricks to sound friendlier and more confident.
Smile when you speak. This makes you sound warmer and more approachable. Use open body language. Stand or sit with relaxed shoulders and good posture. Maintain eye contact. This shows interest and engagement. Use a friendly tone of voice. Avoid sounding too serious or monotone.
Let's practice. Try saying this sentence first in a nervous way and then in a friendly, confident way. Hi, how's your day going?
See? Confidence makes small talk feel more natural and fun.
The key to small talk is simple. Start with a friendly opener, pick an easy topic, and speak with confidence.
Wow! We've covered some really useful strategies today to help you start and maintain small talk confidently. Let's quickly go over what we learned.
Yes! If you've ever felt nervous about starting a conversation, these techniques will help you feel more natural, confident, and friendly in any situation.
How to start a conversation with anyone. Use simple, easy openers like, "Hey, nice to meet you. How's your day going? This place is great. Have you been here before? Wow, that coffee smells amazing. What did you order?"
The best small talk topics. Stick to fun, light, and universal topics like weather, it's such a nice day today. Hobbies, what do you like to do for fun? Travel, have you been on any trips recently? Food and drinks, do you know any good restaurants around here?
Topics to avoid. Stay away from personal or controversial topics like politics. Who did you vote for? Money, how much do you make? Religion, what's your belief? Personal problems, you look tired. Are you okay?
How to sound friendly and confident. Improve your body language and tone by smiling when you speak. This makes you more approachable. Using open body language, relax your shoulders and stand comfortably. Maintaining eye contact, show you're engaged. Using a friendly tone, avoid sounding too serious or robotic.
If you practice these 4 techniques, I promise, your small talk skills will improve and conversations will feel easier and more natural.
All right, now it's time for your Day 6 challenge.
Step 1. Start a conversation using one of today's small talk openers. It could be with a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger at a coffee shop.
Step 2. Pick a topic from today's lesson and see how long you can keep the conversation going. Use follow-up questions and natural reactions.
And step 3. Reflect on your conversation. Ask yourself, did I start the conversation easily? What topic worked best? What can I improve next time?
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us. What small talk opener did you try? Did it help make the conversation easier? What's the hardest part of making small talk for you?
All right, you've now mastered the art of small talk. But what happens when the conversation gets deeper and you need to express your opinions clearly?
Oh, that's a big one. Knowing how to share your thoughts, agree or disagree politely is super important for real conversations.
That's why tomorrow's episode is all about expressing opinions in English. We'll teach you how to share your thoughts naturally, how to agree and disagree politely, how to sound confident when giving your opinion.
You don't want to miss Day 7, expressing your opinions in English. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss an episode.
And remember, small talk is the first step to great conversations. So, start practicing today.
See you tomorrow, and until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and happy chatting. Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 7 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're talking about something super important, how to express your opinions in English.
That's right. Have you ever been in a conversation where you had a strong opinion about something, but you didn't know how to express it clearly in English?
Or maybe you've been in a discussion where someone disagreed with you and you weren't sure how to respond politely?
Expressing your thoughts is an essential skill in real conversations, whether you're chatting with friends, debating a topic, or speaking in a business meeting.
But here's the problem. Many English learners stick to basic phrases like I think or I agree, and that can make conversations sound a little repetitive or unnatural.
So today we're going to teach you how to express your opinions confidently, how to agree and disagree politely, how to make your thoughts sound more natural and engaging.
And by the end of this episode, you'll have a variety of useful phrases that will help you sound fluent, confident, and natural in any discussion.
All right, ready to start sharing your thoughts like a pro? Let's dive in. Let's start with the most important part, how to give your opinion confidently. Many English learners rely on I think all the time, which is okay, but there are many other ways to express your thoughts in a more natural and fluent way.
That's right. If you want to sound more fluent, try using these alternatives. In my opinion, personally, I believe. From my perspective, I'd say that. As far as I'm concerned.
Let's see these in action. Imagine someone asks, "What do you think about remote work?" Instead of just saying, "I think it's great, try." Personally, I believe remote work is fantastic because it gives people more flexibility.
Or try this one. As far as I'm concerned, it's a great option, but it depends on the person's job and lifestyle.
Now let's practice. Repeat after me. From my perspective, social media has both positives and negatives.
Good, let's try another one. In my opinion, learning a new language is one of the best ways to expand your thinking.
Awesome. These phrases will make you sound more confident and natural when sharing your thoughts.
Now, let's talk about how to agree with someone in a conversation. Instead of just saying, I agree, you can make your response more natural and engaging.
Here are some great ways to agree with someone. I completely agree with you. That's a great point. I couldn't agree more. You're absolutely right. Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Let's practice with a real conversation. Imagine someone says, exercise is really important for mental health. Instead of just saying, I agree, try, you're absolutely right. Exercise helps reduce stress and keeps you energized.
Or this one. That's a great point. I always feel better after a workout.
Now let's practice. Repeat after me. I couldn't agree more. Sleep is just as important as exercise.
Nice. Now you sound more natural when you agree with someone.
Now let's talk about how to disagree politely. Sometimes you won't agree with someone and that's okay, but you need to do it in a polite and respectful way.
Instead of just saying, I disagree, try these polite ways to express a different opinion. I see your point, but I get what you're saying, but I feel differently. That's an interesting perspective, but I respect your opinion, but I have a different view. I get where you're coming from, but I see it differently.
Let's see an example. Imagine someone says, I think social media is bad for society. Instead of just saying, I disagree, try this. I see your point, but I think social media has some benefits too, like keeping people connected.
Or this one. That's an interesting perspective, but I actually think it depends on how people use it.
Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. I respect your opinion, but I feel differently about that.
Great. Now you can disagree in a way that keeps the conversation polite and smooth.
Now that you know how to give your opinion, agree, and disagree, let's talk about how to make your thoughts sound more engaging.
Yes, native speakers don't just state their opinion, they add personality to it. Here are some ways to make your speech more engaging. Use expressions to introduce your thoughts naturally. Honestly, I think. To be fair, I'd say, if you ask me. Add a little emotion or humor to your response. I'd say pineapple on pizza is a crime, but that's just me. Honestly, I'd rather wake up at 5 a.m. than sit in traffic for 2 hours.
Let's practice. Repeat after me. Honestly, I think learning English is one of the best investments in yourself.
Good. Now try this one. If you ask me, coffee is better than tea any day.
Awesome. Adding personality to your speech makes your English sound more natural and interesting.
Wow! We covered some really powerful techniques today to help you express your opinions confidently in English. Let's do a quick recap.
Yes. If you've ever struggled with giving your opinion or disagreeing politely, these strategies will help you feel more fluent and confident in conversations.
How to give your opinion confidently, instead of just saying, I think. Try using these phrases. In my opinion, personally, I believe, from my perspective, as far as I'm concerned.
How to agree politely and naturally. Instead of just saying, I agree, try these. You're absolutely right. That's a great point. I couldn't agree more. Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
How to disagree politely. Instead of saying, I disagree, use, I see your point, but I get what you're saying, but I feel differently. That's an interesting perspective, but I respect your opinion, but I have a different view.
How to make your opinion sound engaging. Use expressions that add personality, like, honestly, I think. To be fair, I'd say, if you ask me, I'd say pineapple on pizza is a crime, but that's just me.
By using these phrases, you'll sound more natural, more confident, and more engaging in conversations.
Now it's time for your Day 7 challenge.
Step 1. Have a conversation where you express your opinion. It could be about a movie, a book, or any topic you care about.
Step 2. Use at least one phrase to agree or disagree. Try to make your response more engaging and natural.
And step 3. Reflect on your conversation. Ask yourself, did I sound confident? Which phrase worked best for me? What can I improve next time?
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us. What phrase did you use today? Did it help make the conversation easier? What's the hardest part of expressing opinions in English for you?
All right, you've now learned how to express your opinions confidently. But what about storytelling? Being able to tell a good story makes your English sound more natural and engaging.
Oh, that's a big one. Storytelling is a powerful skill that helps you connect with people, share experiences, and keep conversations interesting.
That's why tomorrow's episode is all about storytelling in English. We'll teach you how to structure a great story in English, how to use past tenses naturally, how to keep people engaged when telling a story.
You don't want to miss Day 8, How to Tell Stories in English. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss an episode.
And remember, your opinion matters, so start practicing today and speak with confidence.
See you tomorrow, and until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and happy chatting. Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 8 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're talking about something that can make or break your conversations, storytelling.
That's right. Think about it. When someone tells you a boring story with no details, no emotions, and no structure, you probably lose interest fast, right?
But when someone tells you a great story with exciting moments, natural flow, and strong emotions, you want to hear more.
In English-speaking cultures, being able to tell a good story is an important skill. Whether you're talking to friends, meeting new people, or even at work, a good story can make you more interesting and memorable.
But here's the problem. Many English learners struggle with storytelling because they don't know how to structure their story, how to use past tenses naturally, or how to make their story engaging.
So today we're going to teach you how to structure a great story in English, how to use past tenses naturally while storytelling, how to make your stories interesting and engaging.
And by the end of this episode, you'll be able to tell stories in English that keep people hooked and wanting to hear more.
All right, ready to become a great storyteller? Let's dive in.
Let's start with the most important foundation of storytelling, structure. If your story doesn't have a clear flow, people will lose interest or get confused.
That's right. The best way to tell a story in English is to use this simple 3-step structure. Step 1. Set the scene, the beginning. Answer: who, where, when. Give just enough background information. Example: last summer I was traveling in Italy with my best friend, Emma. Step 2. The action, the middle. What happened? Add details to make it interesting. Example: we got completely lost in a small village and no one spoke English. Step 3. The outcome, the end. How did it end? What did you learn from the experience? Example: in the end, a kind old man helped us find our way back, and we even got invited to his house for dinner.
Let's listen to a short example story using this structure. Pay attention to how it flows naturally.
Beginning: last year, I decided to go skydiving for the first time with my friend Mike. Middle: we were so nervous, and right before we jumped, Mike looked at me and said, "What if my parachute doesn't open?" End: luckily, everything went perfectly, and it was one of the most exciting experiences of my life.
See? This structure helps keep your story clear, engaging, and easy to follow. Now let's move on to another important skill, using past tenses naturally.
When telling a story in English, we mostly use past tenses, but many learners mix them up, making their stories sound unnatural.
That's right. Let's break it down into 3 key past tenses you'll need when telling a story.
Past simple, for main actions. We arrived at the airport and checked in for our flight. She called me last night to tell me the news. Past continuous, for background actions or longer actions. It was raining when we left the hotel. I was talking to my friend when I saw a celebrity. Past perfect, for things that happened earlier in the story. By the time we got to the station, the train had already left. I had never tried sushi before that day. Let's test this out. I'll say a sentence with missing verbs, and you try to complete it with the correct past tense.
Yesterday, I see an old friend while I walk in the park.
The correct answer is, yesterday, I saw an old friend while I was walking in the park.
Nice job. Now try telling a short story using these past tenses correctly.
Now that you know how to structure a story and use past tenses correctly, let's talk about how to make your story engaging and fun to listen to.
Here are 3 simple techniques to make your stories more interesting. Use descriptive words instead of, "The beach was nice." Try, "The beach was breathtaking with golden sand and crystal clear water." Add emotions instead of, "I was scared." Try, "I was terrified, my heart was racing, and I could barely breathe." Use direct speech, dialogue, instead of, "The waiter told me the food was spicy." Try, "The waiter looked at me and said, 'Are you sure you want to eat that? It's very spicy.'"
Let's practice. Listen to these 2 sentences. Which one sounds more interesting?
We had dinner at a restaurant. We found this amazing little Italian restaurant, and the pasta was the best I've ever had.
See? Small details make a big difference. Now let's test it with a sentence. Listen and try to add details.
I went to the park yesterday.
A better version could be, I went to the park yesterday, and the sun was shining, kids were laughing, and I could hear birds singing in the trees.
That's how you bring your stories to life.
Before we wrap up, here's a simple storytelling framework you can practice with.
Try to tell a story using this framework. Step 1, set the scene. Last winter, I was in New York City. Step 2, describe the main event. Suddenly, I realized I had lost my phone in Times Square. Step 3, the outcome. Luckily, a kind stranger found it and returned it to me.
Your challenge today is to practice telling a short story using this framework.
Wow, today we learned some powerful techniques to help you tell great stories in English. Let's quickly review what we covered.
Yes, if you've ever struggled with telling an interesting story, these techniques will help you organize your thoughts, use the right tenses, and make your storytelling more engaging.
How to structure a great story. Every good story has 3 parts. Beginning, set the scene, who, where, when. Middle, what happened. Add details. End, how did it finish? What did you learn?
How to use past tenses naturally. When telling a story, remember, past simple for main actions. We arrived at the airport and checked in. Past continuous for background actions. It was raining when we left the hotel. Past perfect for earlier events. By the time we got there, the train had already left.
How to make your stories engaging. Instead of saying, "I went to a restaurant," add descriptive words. We found a cozy Italian restaurant with the best pasta I've ever had. Emotions. I was so excited I could barely sit still. Dialogue. The waiter looked at me and said, "Are you sure you want to eat that? It's very spicy."
How to practice storytelling. Use this simple storytelling framework. Step 1, set the scene. Last summer, I was in Paris. Step 2, the main event. Suddenly, I realized I had lost my passport. Step 3, the outcome. Luckily, a kind stranger helped me find it.
If you practice these techniques, your storytelling will sound more natural and fun.
Now, it's time for your Day 8 challenge.
Step 1, think of a short story from your life. It can be funny, surprising, or even a little embarrassing.
Step 2, use the 3-step structure to organize your story.
Step 3, Tell your story out loud or write it down, and make sure to include details, emotions, and dialogue.
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us. What story did you tell today? What storytelling technique helped you the most? What's the hardest part of telling stories in English?
All right, now you know how to tell a great story in English, but what if you could learn English naturally by watching movies and TV shows?
Oh, that's a big one. Watching movies and TV shows is one of the best ways to improve your listening and speaking skills, but many learners don't know how to use them effectively.
That's why tomorrow's episode is all about learning English from movies and TV shows. We'll teach you how to choose the right shows for your level, how to train your ears to understand native speakers, how to use subtitles the right way.
You don't want to miss Day 9, How to Learn English from Movies and TV Shows. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss an episode.
And remember, great conversations start with great stories. So, start practicing today.
See you tomorrow. And until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and happy storytelling.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 9 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter, and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're going to talk about one of the most fun and effective ways to learn English. Watching movies and TV shows.
That's right. If you've ever struggled with understanding fast English, learning new vocabulary, or improving your pronunciation, then today's episode is for you.
But here's the thing, just watching movies isn't enough. Many learners watch with subtitles, but they don't know how to actually train their ears to understand English better.
So today, we're going to teach you how to choose the right movies and TV shows for your level, how to train your ears to understand fast, natural English, how to use subtitles the right way, how to practice speaking with movies and TV shows.
And by the end of this episode, you'll have a clear method to turn your favorite movies and shows into powerful English learning tools.
All right, ready to make movie night a learning experience? Let's dive in.
Many English learners think that watching any movie or TV show will help them improve. But actually, choosing the right content for your level makes a huge difference.
That's right. If the show is too hard, you might feel frustrated. If it's too easy, you won't learn anything new. So, how do you find the perfect balance?
Here's a guide to choosing the right movies and TV shows for your level. For beginners, animated movies, Toy Story, Finding Nemo, clear pronunciation, simple dialogues, sitcoms with everyday conversations, Friends, Modern Family, short and simple episodes, Peppa Pig, Bluey.
For intermediate learners, TV dramas with natural conversations, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office. Light comedies, The Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother. Reality shows, MasterChef, The Great British Bake Off.
For advanced learners, movies with fast real-life speech, Inception, The Social Network. News and documentaries, BBC News, TED Talks. TV dramas with complex dialogues, Breaking Bad, Sherlock.
Here's a quick test. If you understand 50 to 70% of the dialogue without subtitles, that means the movie or show is perfect for your level.
So pick a movie or TV show from this list that matches your level, and let's move on to the next step, training your ears.
One of the biggest challenges for English learners is understanding fast, natural speech.
That's because native speakers reduce sounds, connect words, and use informal phrases. But don't worry, there's a method to train your ears.
Here's a 3-step listening exercise to improve your comprehension. Step 1. Listen to a short clip, 10 to 15 seconds, without subtitles. Try to catch familiar words. Don't worry if you don't understand everything.
Step 2. Listen again, this time with subtitles. Check what words you missed. Notice how native speakers connect words. For example, going to, gonna.
Step 3. Listen without subtitles again. Focus on recognizing words without reading. Repeat this process until you understand most of the sentence.
Let's try it. Listen to this phrase from a TV show. What do you want to do tonight? Did you hear, what do you want to do tonight? Or, what do you want to do tonight?
See? Native speakers connect words. If you train your ears this way regularly, your listening skills will improve dramatically.
Many learners overuse subtitles, which stops them from improving their listening skills. But if you use subtitles correctly, they can be a powerful tool.
Here's how to use subtitles effectively to improve your listening comprehension and vocabulary.
Step 1. Watch with English subtitles first. Helps you see how words are pronounced, learn new words and expressions in context.
Step 2. Watch again, but without subtitles. Focus only on listening. Try to recognize words without reading.
Step 3. Shadowing. Repeat what you hear. Pause the video and repeat the dialogue out loud. Copy the pronunciation and rhythm as closely as possible.
Let's try it. Listen to this sentence and repeat after me. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Great! This technique will help you recognize spoken English faster and improve your pronunciation.
Now, let's talk about how to practice speaking using movies and TV shows.
Here are 2 effective speaking exercises you can try. 1. Shadowing. Repeat what you hear. Choose a short sentence from a movie or TV show. Try to say it at the same time as the character. Copy their pronunciation and rhythm.
Pick a short conversation from a movie. Pause after each line and say the character's part. Try to match their tone, emotion, and speed.
Let's try a quick shadowing exercise. Repeat after me. Hey, long time no see.
Nice! If you practice these exercises regularly, your pronunciation and confidence will improve quickly.
Wow, today we covered some really effective ways to use movies and TV shows to improve your English. Let's do a quick recap.
Yes! If you've ever felt frustrated because you couldn't understand fast English in movies or TV shows, today's lesson gave you the tools to train your ears, improve your speaking, and learn vocabulary naturally.
How to choose the right movies and TV shows for your level. Beginners, try animated movies, Toy Story, sitcoms, Friends, or kids shows, Peppa Pig.
Intermediate learners, choose light dramas, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, comedies, The Big Bang Theory, and reality shows, MasterChef.
Advanced learners, challenge yourself with fast-paced movies, Inception, documentaries, TED Talks, and complex dramas, Sherlock.
How to train your ears to understand fast English. Step 1. Listen to a short clip without subtitles first. Try to catch familiar words.
Step 2. Listen again with subtitles. Check what you missed and notice connected speech.
Step 3. Listen again without subtitles. See how much you can understand without reading.
How to use subtitles the right way. First, watch with English subtitles to connect words with pronunciation. Next, watch again without subtitles to focus on listening. Finally, use shadowing. Repeat after the characters to improve fluency and pronunciation.
How to improve your speaking with movies and TV shows. Shadowing. Choose a sentence and repeat it exactly like the character to improve your accent and rhythm. Role play. Act out short dialogues from your favorite shows. Pause after each line and say it out loud.
If you follow these techniques, watching movies and TV shows will help you improve your English in a fun and effective way.
All right, now it's time for your Day 9 challenge.
Step 1. Choose a short clip, 10 to 15 seconds, from a movie or TV show. It could be a funny conversation, an emotional scene, or a short dialogue.
Step 2. Listen to it 3 times. First without subtitles, then with subtitles, then without again. Pay attention to how words connect.
Step 3. Shadow one sentence, pick a line from the clip, and try to say it exactly like the character.
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us, what TV show or movie did you choose? What was the hardest part? Listening, shadowing, or pronunciation? Did you learn any new words or expressions?
Now that you know how to use movies and TV shows to improve your English, what about situations where you need to speak English on the phone?
Oh, that's a big one. Speaking on the phone is difficult because you can't see the other person's face or body language. But don't worry, we'll teach you how to handle phone conversations with confidence.
That's why tomorrow's episode is all about handling phone calls in English. We'll teach you how to start and end phone conversations naturally, useful phrases for making appointments and asking for information, how to deal with misunderstandings on the phone.
You don't want to miss Day 10? How to handle phone calls in English. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss it.
And remember, learning English can be fun, so start watching and practicing today.
See you tomorrow, and until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and happy watching.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Day 10 of 30 Days to Fluent English. I'm Peter and I'm here with Kathy.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're tackling a big challenge for many English learners, handling phone calls in English.
That's right. Talking on the phone can be really stressful because you can't rely on facial expressions or body language to help you understand the conversation.
And let's be honest, even native speakers sometimes struggle with phone calls. Maybe the connection isn't great or the person talks too fast.
So, today, we'll teach you how to start and end phone calls naturally, common phrases for different phone situations, how to ask for clarification when you don't understand, how to sound confident and professional on the phone.
And by the end of this episode, you'll feel much more confident the next time you need to make or receive a phone call in English.
All right, ready to improve your phone skills? Let's get started. Let's start with the beginning of a phone call. The way you start a call sets the tone for the conversation. If you start clearly and confidently, the rest of the call will go more smoothly.
That's right. And the way you start depends on who you're talking to. Let's break it down into 3 situations. Calling a business or professional setting, calling a friend or informal call, answering a phone call.
When calling a company or someone you don't know well, you should sound polite and professional. Here are some good ways to start a formal call. Hello, this is Michael Johnson. May I speak with Sarah Miller? Good morning. This is Olivia Carter from Greenfield Bank. I'm calling regarding your account. Hi, this is David Thompson. I'm calling to schedule an appointment with Dr. Williams.
If you don't know the person's name, use their position or department instead. Hello, this is Emma Scott. May I speak with someone in the customer service department? Hi, this is Daniel Parker. I'd like to speak with the hiring manager about a job opening.
And if the person you need is not available, you might hear these responses. I'm sorry, Sarah is in a meeting right now. Would you like to leave a message? Unfortunately, Dr. Williams is out of the office today. Can I take a message for you?
So always be prepared to leave a message if the person you're calling isn't available.
When calling a friend, your opening can be much more relaxed and natural. Here are some casual ways to start a phone call. Hey Jake, what's up? Hi Emily, do you have a minute? Hey Alex, how's it going? Hi Sophie, are you free to talk now?
Notice that in informal calls, we often use first names, contractions, and casual greetings like hey or what's up instead of hello or good morning.
And if your friend doesn't answer, you might leave a voicemail or send a text. Hey Jake, it's Peter. Give me a call back when you're free.
Now, let's talk about how to answer a phone call. The way you answer depends on whether the call is formal or informal.
Formal, answering a business call. Hello, thank you for calling Anderson & Company. This is Daniel speaking. How can I help you? Good afternoon. This is Jennifer from Elite Marketing. How may I assist you today?
Casual, answering a friend's call. Hey, it's Alex. Hello, what's up? Hi, Sophie. How's your day going?
A professional call sounds more structured, while a friendly call sounds relaxed and warm. Now let's practice.
Imagine you're answering a business call. Try saying, hello, this is Michael from Greenfield Bank. How can I help you?
Great. A strong introduction makes you sound confident and professional.
Now that we've started the call, let's go over some essential phrases for different situations you'll face during a phone conversation. May I speak with Jessica Adams, please? Is Mark Roberts available? Could I speak to someone in the billing department?
And if the person is not available, you might hear, I'm sorry, Jessica is not available right now. Would you like to leave a message? Mark is out of the office at the moment. Can I take a message? Please hold for a moment. Can I put you on hold for a moment while I check that for you? Let me transfer you to the sales department. I'll connect you with Lisa in customer service.
If someone puts you on hold, you might hear, thank you for holding. I appreciate your patience. Sorry for the wait. How can I assist you? Could you take a message for John? Can you tell Emma that I called? Please let Daniel know I'll call back later.
Sometimes it's hard to hear or understand someone on the phone. So, what should you do?
That's where clarification phrases come in. Here are some ways to ask someone to repeat or explain something. If you didn't hear something, sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?
If you didn't understand something, could you clarify what you mean? I'm not sure I understand. Can you explain it another way?
If the connection is bad, I think we have a bad connection. Can you say that again? You're cutting out. Could you repeat that?
Let's practice. Imagine the person on the other end is speaking too fast. Try saying, Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again more slowly?
Perfect. These phrases help you stay calm and professional, even if you don't understand everything.
Wow. Today we learned some essential skills for handling phone calls in English. Let's quickly review what we covered.
Yes, if you've ever felt nervous about speaking on the phone, these techniques will help you sound more confident and professional.
How to start a phone call. Confidently. Formal calls. Hello, this is Michael Johnson. May I speak with Sarah Miller? Good morning. This is Olivia Carter from Greenfield Bank.
Casual calls. Hey Jake, what's up? Hi Emily, do you have a minute?
How to answer a phone call. Properly. Formal. Hello, thank you for calling Anderson & Company. This is Daniel speaking. How can I help you?
Casual. Hey, it's Alex. Hello, what's up?
Common phrases for phone conversations. Asking for someone. May I speak with Jessica Adams, please?
If the person isn't available, I'm sorry, Jessica is not available right now. Would you like to leave a message?
Putting someone on hold and transferring calls. Please hold for a moment. I'll connect you with Lisa in customer service.
How to ask for clarification on the phone. If you didn't hear something, sorry, could you repeat that?
If you didn't understand something, could you clarify what you mean? If the connection is bad, I think we have a bad connection. Can you say that again?
These phrases help you stay calm and professional, even if you don't understand everything.
All right, now it's time for your Day 10 challenge.
Step 1. Practice making a phone call using today's phrases.
Step 2. Choose a scenario. Calling a hotel to make a reservation. Calling a restaurant to order food. Calling a company to ask about a job opening.
Step 3. Record yourself speaking the conversation and try to sound natural and confident.
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us. What's the hardest part of speaking on the phone in English? Which phrase from today's lesson was most useful for you?
Tomorrow's episode is all about how to sound more natural in English conversations.
You don't want to miss Day 11? How to sound more natural when speaking English. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss it.
And remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become. So start practicing today.
See you tomorrow. And until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and enjoy learning English.
Bye for now and happy practicing.